And you were telling me that you have a new climbing tower at Camp Rotary. First of all, what is Camp Rotary? And tell us about your new climbing tower and what that's all about.
The Rotary Scout Reservation is just outside of Albany, New York, up in the Averill Park area, and it is one of our 2 major Boy Scout camps for this part of the state of New York. And Rotary is about 1,200 acres, so it's a pretty large area. It's our summer camp operation. It runs year-round, so we have kids out there every weekend, and we have everything from a ropes course where they learn how to work as teams, to cooking areas. We have a full dining hall, some cabins, but our newest thing that we built a state-of-the-art 40-foot climbing wall. And so this climbing wall has 4 sides. Each side is progressively harder, and the kids learn how to rope up and how to put all the safety equipment on, and then they climb all the different sides, and then at the same time they learn how to rappel and be able to trust the people that are helping them, and because you can't go down without somebody else allowing you the ability to go down. It's much safer than people might think. So they get to actually climb, and it's amazing. The watching the faces of these kids is just incredible.
How high is the tower?
40 feet. So it's up there. It's a tower. Is
Camp Rotary a year-round camp?
It's open year-round. We operate it year-round. Lots of our units camp there on the weekends year-round, and then we run a full summer program, obviously. This is where we take the kids and the scouts who've spent all winter going to camporees or learning skills, and they get to come to camp in the summer for a week, Sunday to Saturday, and they get to actually put all those skills into practice and see what it's like really to be a scout. So they eat at Rotary. They eat in our dining hall. They have a aquatics area, full lakefront where they can sail and kayak and swim, and we have a full nature area and scout craft, which is where we learn how to actually tie knots. And what do you do with those knots? How do you put those poles together and make something really cool? We have the climbing and the what we call cope, which is our outdoor ropes course. They have a place at Rotary off, which is they have a foundry, and they learn how to do metalworking and things like that at camp. So it's a wide variety of activities. The kids sign up for the programs they want to be in. Their leaders bring them. We provide a staff, and it is without a doubt the highlight of a Scout's year. Just a week of fun and experiences.
I was going to ask you, what kind of feedback do you get from the kids that participate?
Our kids would go to camp all the time if we could. We have a program, it's called Provisional Scouting, which basically means that they come to camp for another week. They'll come with another unit, and they'll meet a whole different group of kids, and they'll go to camp. So we offer 2 Boy Scout programs. One's at Camp Rotary, and our other one is at Camp Wackpomany, which is up in Fort Anne.
Thank you for pronouncing that, because I was going to ask you about Camp Wackpomany. And you have a trekking program there. What is it? First of all, tell us about that camp, and what's the trekking program?
Okay, Wackpomany is actually in the Adirondack State Park, and so just like Camp Rotary, it is tailor-made for scouting. So they have great first and second year programs, and then what we've tried to do with our camps is to give people some choice. And so Camp Rotary has a really great cope course, has a really great the new climbing tower, and has this foraging metalworking program. What Camp Wackpomany has is Camp Wackpomany has the forest. It's a forested area. The lake is a little bit bigger, so they still offer aquatics and scoutcraft and nature, and shooting sports and archery, those kinds of things. But we also offer a trekking program. So we take kids out up into the Adirondacks, which is without a doubt one of the most wonderful places to camp in the world. We're just blessed to have that kind of an environment. And we take them backpacking, or we take them canoeing, and we have trained guides that are on our staff, and they take the kids out and with adults, and they go out for a week, and they go on a backpacking adventure. They go on a canoeing adventure. And the things that they learn and the camaraderie that they get to have together. They come back different people. They come back more grown up. They come back more understanding the environment. They come back with real leadership skills, because our guides are taught to let them let the kids figure out what they're doing. Let them cook the meals. Let them make the decisions. And our guides are just that. They guide. They just like an advisor. They try to keep them within the
Sure.
parameters, but let them make some decisions. And it's incredible the growth that happens off a trek.
You know, we take it for granted. We don't realize what a special place the Adirondack mountain area is. We have here it's internationally known, and we have it, within a couple hours driving distance.
Yeah, the Boy Scouts of America, the national organization, actually has they have four major bases. So big, what you might call national camps. And one of them is in New Mexico. It's the largest private camp in the world. It's 350-some thousand acres, and it's all about backpacking, and it's full every single day in the summer. It's packed, and they have a second one, which is in Minnesota and Canada, where they canoe. And they have a third one in Florida where they do scuba and sailing and living on an island like Robinson Crusoe. And then they have a fourth one in West Virginia where they do high adventure, what I would call extreme sports. Things like skateboarding and zip lining and canopy tours and just the amazing new mountain biking. They have some of the best of those kinds of places in the world they've built on these camps. And where this has to do with the Adirondacks is that we have some of the best hiking, some of the best canoeing, some of the best adventure places in the entire world right here in our backyard. And so here in the Twin Rivers Council, we're trying to use the Adirondacks as much as we can to have our kids get those experiences. And then if they want to go to the next level, then we're able to say, okay, look, you've done this week-long camping, hiking trip, and look at all these things you learned. Now, if you want, really take the big adventure and go to Philmont in New Mexico for 2 weeks, because their trips are 2 weeks. Go for 2 weeks and hike major mountains, or go to Canada and go canoeing. We're able to give them a taste that when you live other places in this country, you have no idea how to do that because it's just unavailable to you.
One of the things my father was most proud of right up until he left us was the fact that he became an Eagle Scout. What exactly is an Eagle Scout?
An Eagle Scout is the highest rank that a Boy Scout can get. It's internationally known. It really truly is an honor for a young man to get, and it's something they have to attain. It's not something that can be given to you. You have to go get it. You have to have the drive to go get it. So. About 4% of Boy Scouts that join Boy Scouting, starting at Cub Scouts, about 4% end up as Eagle Scouts. So we have about 180 a year here in our local council that make Eagle Scout. And they have to go through all the ranks of scouting. They have to be what's called a scout. Then they have to do all the things to become a tenderfoot, and all the things to be second class, first class, star, life, and then they're able to become an Eagle. They'll have to earn 21 merit badges. And
what is a merit badge?
Okay, a merit badge is a specialized program that they have to learn about. It's our educational piece. So, for example, you might learn personal management. Personal management is a required badge for Eagle, and it is how to use personal finances, and how do you make sure that as you grow older in your life and as you become a citizen, how do you make sure that you pay your bills, and do you make sure that you have enough money and how to budget and things like that. They have to earn a badge called family life. How do you work within your family? How do you do chores? How do you cooperate with others in your neighborhood? They have to learn 3 citizenships. Citizenship, obviously, in the community, citizenship in their nation, and citizenship in the whole world. They have to learn about environmental science. They have to have some physical fitness, so they have to either hike or camp or bike, cycle. They have all these different things that they can do. So there's 11 of these major badges that they have to learn, that every Eagle Scout has, and then they have 10 of anything they want. So that can be anything from nuclear science to learning about plants or mammals or archery or backpacking, for example, is something that they can learn. Canoeing, rowing. There's 120 some Boy Scout merit badges, and they have to earn 21. They have to be a leader for 6 months in their units, have to be a major leader in their unit. And then the single biggest thing that they have to do is they have to take all these things that they've learned, all these things that we've taught them, and they have to go run a service project, a major service project.
What's a service project?
So they have to find an organization, not the Boy Scouts.
All right.
They cannot do it for us, so they can't do it at our summer camps or anything like that. They have to do it for a church. They have to do it for a daycare center. They have to do it for their local community or a biking or let's say a parks department. And they have to go out and giving leadership with other kids, other adults, and they have to do something major. We've had kids build bridges. Hiking bridges. We've had kids make cross-country trails. We've had kids do book drives and then donate the proceeds and buy books for hospitals. We've had kids work on their local baseball fields. Any number of things, and they're always looking for nonprofit organizations because again, they can't do it for for us to have projects where they need labor and someone to plan it. So have lots of them do things for their churches and for veterans organizations. Lots of these small cemeteries that you see around that sometimes get overgrown and forgotten. Lots of times, Boy Scout service projects, Eagle projects, they'll go in and they'll redo the entire cemetery, clean it all up, fix all the gravestones, put everything back to the way it was, and then turn that back over to an organization who can keep it up. So they'll make the initial piece happen so that people can come back and respect who's there in that cemetery. So there's any number of things, and our kids are always looking for some community partner to work with.
An Eagle Scout becomes a special person in adult life, don't they?
Eagle Scouts are you can tell an Eagle Scout, you really can. Yeah. They're a leader. They're usually community minded. They want to do things for others. The whole Boy Scout motto of "Do a good turn daily" is inbred in them. Being prepared is important also. And Eagle Scouts, you won't just find Eagle Scouts at a scouting thing. You'll find them in all walks of life. You'll find them in all businesses, and we hope they conduct themselves in a little different way, a little more, using the Scout law and the Scout oath as sort of a guide to their life.
What is a Sea Scout?
A Sea Scout. A Sea Scout is a program that the Boy Scouts sort of were merged into scouting in, I think, the 1920s. I might be wrong about that, but early. And it is the same concepts of scouting, working on character development, leadership, physical fitness, but in the context of being on a boat. And so their ranks have to do with being in the naval kind of things, like being a quartermaster and things like that. And they'll learn how to sail, and they learn to work as a team. There's a whole set of requirements for them to run their own what they call ship. We do not have one in this council in the Albany area or in the Twin Rivers Council right now. We would love to with the Hudson River, but the thing about a ship is you have to have somebody who has usually a sailing vessel that wants to spend some time with kids. I have kids who'd love to do that, and if there's anybody that would love to have some kids learn about their ship and learn about sailing and being on a river and the ocean, we'd love to talk to them.
Well, besides being an Eagle Scout, my father was most proud of being a Sea Scout, and it seems to me that he had some sort of a journey up in Canada where he was doing sailing there.
Oh, yeah.
We're only about a couple minutes left. Is there anything else about the Boy Scouts of America or the Cub Scouts of America that you would like our viewers to know about today?
I tell you what, one of the things is our program is based around having family together, and at the same time giving kids an opportunity to be in the outdoors and to be themselves and to learn. We're not school. We're a totally different kind of classroom. We're experiential learning, and our kids learn something new every day, and we're always looking for volunteers who have something that they want to teach, have something that they want to impart on the next generation. And your local Boy Scout office, no matter where it is, can help you get in contact with local groups, and you can help kids grow to be better people.
Well, Richard Stockton, Executive Director of the Twin Rivers Council of the Boy Scouts of America, serving 13 counties in New York State. I want to thank you so much for joining us today, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
And I'm Joe Condon. Have yourself a wonderful day, and check out the Boy Scouts.